defense, the only sports podcast that you're allowed to listen to. I am so sorry. You don't know what's happening in sports right now because you've been waiting for us to come back to tell you about sports. So we are back to talk to you about sports, but mainly just the ones we like and care about. I'm here with the guy who's has to wait another week to watch his team play their playoff game.
Yep.
Roman Rubio, wearing the Kansas City Chiefs little sweater. Look at the little sweater you got on. Wow.
Champions, baby.
Yep. Maybe I like how you look down like they can also see it. like you're trying to show it off to them.
Someday, maybe. Who knows? But yeah. Sorry, everybody. Obviously, the holiday season and then some other things happened that caused us not to do the podcast for quite some time. I will say, hopefully, we're going to figure this out and we're going to start to get on a consistent schedule again. I'm not going to promise anything because I thought after Thanksgiving, but obviously there was our holiday for us. Holiday time's a busy time for us. Obviously, holiday time's a busy time for everybody because of family, friends, loved ones you want to hang out with, and sports. But we're sorry. We tried almost every single week, but also, with Thanksgiving, with Christmas, with New Year's, all following.
With Marvel Rivals coming out. Let me tell you.
That actually had no effect.
Let me tell you, everybody. I've been trying to get on this podcast. I've been trying to get this podcast going, and I'm like, Roman, buddy, we got to do the pod. And then he's just always like, one more push, one more, one more game. We got to be Thor one more time. So I'm so sorry, everybody, but I got him off the game.
That's not true at all.
At least for an hour and a half, I got him off the game.
Our usual days of recording are Wednesdays or Thursdays. It doesn't help that Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving all fell on Wednesdays. And then other things after Christmas, New Year's, where we were just busy, conflicting schedules. But we're back on it. We're trying. I haven't really posted on Twitter because I just feel so sad that we're not posting. But we try every single week. We try to make it work. If it doesn't work, we don't push it.
We're sorry.
But
if y'all just gave more to our Patreon. We would,
the Patreon
that doesn't
exist. First, we need you to invest in our Patreon that hasn't been yet created.
I need somebody to do all the work for us and make us a Patreon. And then, as soon as you get done doing that,
please donate.
Join our tier 1.
$150.
Yep.
But that's $1.50 or $150. You'll have to find out by
clicking. I was like, wow.
You'll have to click on that. But we have been gone for a while. A lot of sports to talk about. We'll start with the NFL. Skylar, as usual, your season's already over.
Yes.
What's up? How do you feel? The first no-look pass, that would have been awesome.
It was a very up and down roller coaster of a season. Bryce comes out at the beginning looking just as bad as he did the season before. It looked like it was over for Bryce. Yeah. I was very vocal that Bryce was not it. And could you blame me?
No.
Like, just looking at how he was, Dave Canales, being the quarterback whisperer that he is, saw that his quarterback did not need to be on the field anymore. Brought out Andy Dalton, who Andy did make us look a lot better
for a couple games.
But, also, I don't think we leaned into Chuba as much yet, which I think was like towards the mid-season thing when we realized, like, oh man, maybe Chuba is a freaking dog, and we should let him just run through it. So, and we also got rid of Deontay Johnson,
which looked like a hell of a.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Well,
you were mad you didn't get more.
I was mad that I didn't get more, but the other thing is like. So I do understand that, like, who knows what happened in Baltimore to make it where he didn't get those snaps, and we'll see what happens in Houston. I think he went to the Texans. I think the Texans are the one who got him. But we'll see like what happens there. But like he was doing work for us. He was our main receiver and some of that. So like it just sucks that like man, what if Bryce would have came back when he did with the confidence that he did, and he had just one more guy that was going to be open for us, but. Also, with him being gone, Jalen Coker, undrafted free agent rookie that we got this year from Holy Cross, dude stepped up, and I'm like, I love Jalen Coker. I'm excited that I hope we sign him to not like a crazy deal.
Get coked up, baby.
Yeah, I'm a cokehead.
Cokehead.
Yeah, cokeheads unite. But like. He's just out there and he gets open, or when the ball gets passed to him, like in tight windows, he makes the catch. Xavier Legette, our first round wide receiver, ups and downs. I feel like there was times that like towards the final drive in Philly, he had a ball that he dropped that would have been the game winner for us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a couple times that he just isn't adjusting well. Like when it comes to like when the ball's in the air, he's a big body. He should be up there getting that ball, and I just feel like there's times he just misreads the ball. But I think he'll be a good second option. He'll be like he's not fast enough or like quick enough to like be like your main guy, but he's gonna be a nice big body like a DK Metcalf to throw it up to. So I'm excited for that. Yeah. Adam Thielen, the Adam Thielen's wash crowd really got hushed towards the end of the season because I feel like Adam Thielen was also coming out making some big plays. Yeah. I don't know if Adam will stick with us.
He's gonna look good in a Chiefs uniform.
I mean, I think he has a lot to give still. A team. I just don't know if his jersey. Yeah, if his journey is on a team that I think will be better next year. Our defense was the worst defense ever as far as points given up.
Really?
We by 1 point. It was the 1983 Baltimore Colts or something like that. That like so they did have one less game than us. So like points per game were not the worst ever, but like total points in a season were the worst team ever. And we said yes to Ejiro Evero coming back next year as our defensive coordinator, which I don't think it's all his fault. Yeah, like we had Derek Brown, our top defensive tackle, gone for the season, right at the beginning of the year. Shaq Thompson, one of our leaders in linebackers, and we're running a 3-4 now, so your linebackers are important. Gone with a broken leg. Who knows if he comes back? Who knows if we re-sign him again? And then, some of our other signings that just didn't pan out, like Dane Jackson we signed him from Buffalo. He was out for a while, and then when he did come in, he was pretty ass. We got rid of Jeremy Chin, who went to Washington and had a great year, and then but that is Avero's fault because he didn't want to use Chin, which I'm like, what the fuck? And then we lost Frankie Louvu too because apparently he did not gel with the way that he was being used in our defense either.
He had a good year too, right?
Yeah, he did for Washington as well. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, hopefully when we get Derek Brown back and then hopefully we use our top 10 pick on a defensive lineman, I'm hoping. Unless Will Johnson from Michigan, the corner's there, I would like him too. But if not, I hope we take one of the top defensive linemen.
But you do have a Pro Bowl corner, don't you?
We do. We do have a Pro Bowl corner. J.C. Horn, his first season,
fully healthy, mostly healthy.
Yeah, mostly healthy. He didn't play the last game, I think, because they were just, resting him or whatever. But Pro Bowl, held it down. I mean, there were some times that, he let some big plays happen, but that happens to all corners, I feel like.
Maybe, yep.
But he was solid, dude, and he was solid at, like, surprise blitzes and stuff like that. The cornerback blitzes, he'd come in and he'd hit a quarterback hard. So I'm for 5-12. I am fairly optimistic for a fan base that's 5-12. I feel like I'm one of the happier fan bases that's in that area. Which
if Bryce never touched the field again this year and you finished 5-12, I'm sure you'd be a lot more pessimistic about next year.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know your direction at quarterback. You don't really believe in Bryce Young. Yeah, and touch the field again. So
yeah, and I didn't even mention that. Like Bryce totally turned me around. A lot of things that he was doing early on that I didn't like, which was always checking down, never trying to look through like the plays downfield, or he was just so impatient that he didn't give plays time. He's now doing that, and he's making some pinpoint throws. And also, like last year, I felt like you just whiffed on Bryce, and he was on the ground. And there was several times in the second stint that he would be in the backfield, and he'd ping off a defender or two. And it's just like, man, I know you're going to get sacked, but like make him work for it, Yeah. And he ended the season with 5 total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground. And I'm excited for the future. I mean, really, what makes me happy about this is we don't take one of the quarterbacks in this draft.
He played hopefully well enough where maybe like a 4th or 5th round QB that can maybe make him sweat a little bit for a job.
But like we're not going to, because I mean I just don't know how good Cam Ward or Shadir Sanders are going to be, and it makes me happy that like maybe he's not, like, we go into next year, he doesn't grow a lot, and maybe if we're still in the top 10, maybe top 5, we go and get Arch Manning. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Or we don't, and Bryce is a good quarterback, and we get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that it's a win-win for me, really. Either we suck next year with Bryce, and then we get the quarterback that I'd prefer than any of the quarterbacks here, or Bryce is good, and that makes my team good.
Yeah. I'm going to request something here. We have a lot of loyal fans out there. Maybe not a lot to some people, but a lot to us. It means a lot, the loyal fans we have out there. Thank you for listening, but also, if you guys, and I checked this stuff, right before we're about to do the next pod, I always check and see what our view count is, how many people have listened to the last episode. If you can get this episode up to 45 views, right, I will make a compilation little bonus pod that's just Skylar's roller coaster with Bryce Young throughout the whole season of all the pods that we did. I think it'd be really awesome just me to cut all the snippets before week 1, after week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to the end, just to see how far Scooter's come talking about Bryce Young. It's kind of crazy.
And I feel like I've been super open about it. I feel like I've let him
brutally honest.
Like I feel like when he was sucking the things that he was bad at, he is fixed. And I think I said it before where I was like, I'll be happy if Bryce turns out to be good.
But then you also said that I don't think he's ever going to.
But I didn't, and nothing showed the signs of it. But man, clearly, homie, when he got benched, and that's the other thing is
the best thing that happened to him.
He got off the bench. He got to see, I guess, how an NFL quarterback handles ups and downs with Andy, and then when it was time, he came back in and held his. He seems. Early on in the process, he seemed sad when he got benched, which of course you're going to be, but it seemed like he never gave up and he never quit on the team and stuff like that, which is probably real hard when you're in that situation of always being the best quarterback on the best team, and now you just got benched for some dude that people would never think that you were going to get benched for. So,
and it's not like 1 week they were just like, "Hey, Bryce, you're going to start again. We trust you now." It's something happened to Andy Dalton. He had to be thrust into the lineup, and then he earned the right to keep the job, and that's great. That's just shows that he has a little bit more dog.
And also, I think Andy. Honestly, I want to give some credit to Andy because I think Andy was also part of where he's it. When I don't think Andy ever was resentful towards Bryce that Bryce was back out on the field, which that could probably also help too if you have a guy who's willing to mentor you. Because I don't know if you ever heard those stories from Brock Osweiler and stuff like that when he was trying to talk to Peyton Manning and Peyton Manning
Aaron Rodgers,
was telling him to fuck off pretty much So, and I'm not saying Andy Dalton's anywhere near them, but it still has to help that the guy.
No matter the
he's a former Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he earned the. If you've been a good quarterback in the league, you earn the right to be a little bit spiteful, sure, whatever. But yeah, so optimism going into next season.
It's nice.
There wasn't a lot of optimism last season coming into this season.
So I'm and we were competitive, and I think I kept saying that early on.
That's literally all you would say.
That I would say I just want to be competitive.
I don't care who the quarterback is.
Yeah, and even in our games that we lost, against you guys or against Philly, it sucked that we lost, but I was just oh man,
we won.
Yeah, we were there. You know what I'm saying? We almost had them, and that's the feeling I miss. It's just it sucks going into the third quarter and you're down 24 and and
week 1 to the Saints.
or whatever, and
the Saints the
and
best
you can't stop the run, and also when that team scores, your team can't move the ball either. So it's just it's just gonna be a lot of us not doing anything. This sucks. But no, I'm super happy. You guys have a week to wait before you see your team back out in Kansas City. Who are you hoping to see roll into Kansas City?
I would love something similar to last year where we just get the best punches. We get, what is it? Whoever the best is that's remaining. I wouldn't even want to say Houston. Houston's kind of fallen off. Who do they play? Who's the 5th seed? That's probably the Chargers.
I don't know. Let's see here.
But basically, I just want the best punches. Just like last year where we had to face the best offense. And the Dolphins, we had to face Josh Allen, who everyone said had his number. And then we had to face the MVP in Baltimore. And then we had to face the juggernaut of the 49ers. I want all the best shots. That's what I want.
So the top seed. So if they all
Texans would technically be the top seed, but everyone I think agrees that they've kind of fallen off.
But you would have to you wouldn't play the top seed. You'd play the lowest seed that would win.
Yes,
which would be
if all the top seeds win, it'd be the Texans.
Oh yeah, right? it'd be the Texans. Yeah,
the Ravens and the Bills would play each other. So I'm probably hoping for the winner of the Chargers or Texans. Probably going to be the Chargers would be my guess if the Texans continue around the slump that they've been having at the end of the season.
I wouldn't want to see the Broncos after that 38-0 thwomping y'all just
They do have a lot of momentum, but it was all our backup. But if a team happens to beat the Bills or the Ravens, I'm happy to face them and then face the Ravens or the Bills in the championship. I would love to face the Lions in the Super Bowl if we can get to the Super Bowl. But
I'm not going to lie. I want just out of this, just because I think it'd be so fun. I I would like to see the Chargers beat the Texans, and then the Ravens and the Broncos to win, and then for the Chargers to come to you guys and beat you guys. So Justin
in
Herbert.
the AFC Championship game.
No, like that would be.
Well, if the Broncos win, we'd face the Broncos.
No. I'm sorry, the Bills. So I want the Bills and the Ravens to win.
Yeah.
I want the Chargers to win. So the Chargers,
that would suck for me.
Yeah,
if the Chargers beat us,
I would love because I would love to for them to beat you. And, that would also be fun too. Also in the AFC Championship game, but I think it'd just be real fun for y'all to be out the first game because
that would suck.
And I just hope Justin Herbert goes off.
I know that would suck for me.
But now that I said that,
double whammy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. So I said I'm held true. I'm a Chiefs fan that's been through a lot in my life. I used to live in Kansas. I used to go to games as a kid where we'd lose almost every game. It'd be freezing cold, and I'd go home sad. 3-hour drive back home sad. So right now, I'm just loving the ride that we're on. I wasn't worried about the early struggles. Patrick Mahomes, since we got DeAndre Hopkins, just fucking turned it around. That man's a baller. He's the best quarterback in the league. I am happy to see we're getting Jalen Watson back. Jalen Watson.
Doesn't even know his players.
I'm drawing a blank on his last name. Jalen Watson, yeah, pretty sure. And then we get our receiving core. We get to see maybe what Hollywood Brown's kind of like in the playoffs. D-Hop with Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hype for that. Hype to see if Travis Kelce's going to do anything with Jerry Rice's records in the playoffs. Because he's close to a couple of them. And if he has big games like he had last year in the playoffs, he's sure going to break one or the other. But I'm really excited for the playoffs in general. The Lions should be hopefully a lock for at least the NFC Championship game again. That'd be interesting. Nice to see if the Eagles can maybe turn it around.
Well, Roman, we're actually about to fill out this bracket right now.
Oh shit!
We're about to fill out this bracket right now. So
you do the AFC, or should we come to an agreement?
We're gonna come to an agreement. This is gonna be the official on defense Super Bowl run prediction.
Okay.
Locking in everybody because we're not going to be wrong about this. All right, so the first matchup we're going to talk about is the Texans versus the Chargers. I do think the Chargers are going to win.
I think the Chargers too. I think the Texans are down.
I think CJ Stroud is
since the injury, the Nico Collins injury.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but the mojo got switched over to Bryce, and Bryce is now the good quarterback, and CJ Stroud sucks now, and it sucks to suck when you're in the playoffs. The Ravens and the Steelers.
That's honestly such a good, interesting matchup.
It is.
The Steelers have lost 4 or something in a row or something.
But I think the Ravens just.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be hard for them to not. And then even though I think the Broncos, it was an amazing run. Bo Nix came out having a great season. I don't think that they're gonna beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's MVP run continues. So we'll start down here. With the Bills and the you know what we'll go over to the first round of the NFC. Yeah. So over the NFC, definitely Vikings. Vikings over Rams, right? Vikings over Rams has to be. Oh my god! That means that is awful.
I can't believe that.
Well, unless one of these two win. So then we have the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. Man,
probably the Bucs. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
You think the Commanders' rookie quarterback? They're going to come in and they're going to be about business.
I think that the defense will be
good.
Yeah, I think their defense will be a little bit better. And
we haven't seen Mike Evans and company in the playoffs since Tom Brady, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Baker Mayfield in the playoffs since his second year with the Browns, right?
Oh, man, yeah, that's true.
I don't know, dude. I just feel like the veterans that are on that team, especially all the people that are still from the Super Bowl team, along with Baker Mayfield, who's just playing some of his best ball with the Bucs. Maybe not this year, but just in general.
Yeah, and Bucky Irvin's going off. Or did Bucky Irvin get hurt?
Bucky Irving did not. I don't know. That's a great question.
But you know what? We'll go with the Bucs, and they're at home. Bucs are at home. So, and then the Eagles, Packers.
Bucs are at home? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well,
they won the division.
Yeah, they won the division. And then we got the Eagles and the Packers.
Who's the top seed?
Eagles.
Eagles, right? Yeah.
Yep. Packers are a 7th seed because they're third in the AFC or NFC North, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's so fucking crazy. That conference is so stacked.
Yep.
I'm probably going to go with the Eagles. Saquon Barkley should have broken the record, but
just sat out, you know?
Yeah, he sat out.
I can't. Well, hold on. So
they also get a lot of rest.
When does Jalen Hurts come back? Because he has not been playing the past few games because he's hurt.
He's back, but that's also interesting. I don't know.
Oh man,
Saquon Barkley's so good. I don't think it's going to matter.
I think it's going to matter because Kenny Pickett is not good.
But I think Jalen Hurts is going to play.
Is he?
First, I think he is. Yeah.
Oh man, let's see here.
What are the games on Saturday?
Well, it depends. Yeah, it depends on which ones. Jeepers Creepers, just give me a schedule.
Jeepers Creepers, give me a schedule.
Somebody get me a schedule. Somebody get me where are the Eagles at? Why am I so blind right now? There they are. All right. Let's see.
Oh, he's probably the top story.
Why Jalen Hurts potential? Yeah, see?
Potential?
Yeah, so he might not be playing.
Okay, if he's not playing, they lose.
Oh, but hey, well, an hour ago they have faith that he's cleared to play.
Okay, I think they win.
Okay.
As long as he plays, it's just him being in the game, I think they'll win.
Okay. All right, so now we'll stay in the NFC for right now. Lions versus Vikings. Dude, the problem
is they should be playing in the NFC Championship game. I don't know. The Vikings kind of seem like pretenders. I don't know. But
did the Vikings win? The Lions won both games.
Yes. I think they dominated both games, or at least controlled both games.
It's hard
to win 3 times.
Yeah, it's hard to win 3 times.
That's why it's scary to play the Chargers in the second round, because it is. It's hard to beat the same team 3 times.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. So it's like, oof. Let's see here. Standings. Let's see who won between those 2 games real quick. Who am I looking for again? We're looking for Vikings. So 31-9 last game, and then 31-29. So they scored 31 both times. Vikings.
But the Lions, was that the first week of the season or the last week of the season? They played the last week, didn't they?
Yeah, last week.
So them playing their best ball at the right time versus,
they're playing so good.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if the Lions don't make the NFC Championship game, that's a disappointing season. Honestly, if they don't make the Super Bowl, I'd be pretty disappointed too.
All right, so then we'll put the Lions in. I'm rooting for them. You know, they were my favorite team for a week this year. You know that.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
and then we benched Bryce Young, and then my whole season turned around. So then we got the Eagles versus the Buccaneers. Unfortunately, I think this is where the Buccaneers time stops.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to your. We'll save the Chiefs for last.
This is a tough one. You kind of want to have MVP talk right here too, since we're at MVP game. Kind of.
Look at that. Yeah, this would be the
so
MVP
let's say,
game.
Who's your vote for MVP? You can give a why if you want, or you can piss off fellow Ravens fans that listen to this pod and not give a reason.
I'm gonna piss off 20% of our viewers, dude. This is gonna suck. I don't know. So they're so close, right? There's both ups and downs. The problem is one, and I know it sucks to hear this part, but voter fatigue's a thing. People don't like.
Jokic should have won 3 straight.
Yep,
Sorry,
Steve Nash should have won 3 straight.
Nope, that's not.
No. Voter fatigue,
nope.
Roman.
He shouldn't have won the first one. He should have won the third one. He should have won the first.
Well, then we all agree that he should have won the third
there
one,
we
right?
Go.
We're all agreeing.
I guess. Yes.
Yeah. So voter fatigue, and it. I think just the Ravens have a better team around Lamar. That Josh Allen's just really showing up, and we all saw. Well, I'm not gonna say we all saw, but our little friend group all saw the clip from Dan.
Yep, the
Orzanovsky. And he makes a lot of good points. That Josh is just they're scoring at a crazy rate with not a lot of help.
Yeah.
So I mean,
let's also backtrack. Going into the season, expectations. Everyone, not necessarily expected this, but we expected some version of this for the Ravens.
Yeah,
like with Derrick Henry,
we knew
with
it was
Lamar,
be a crazy year.
We knew it was going to be a good year. With the Bills, did we still think they were going to be a playoff team? Yes. Did I think maybe this is just me? Did I think they were going to come in and still be in consideration for the 1 seed, let alone beat the 1 seed, aka the Chiefs?
The only
also
loss.
beat the Lions. The only loss other than the Broncos, but the Broncos doesn't count.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that you guys.
But it doesn't.
Because I keep forgetting 15-1, and that used to be. But yeah, you guys do have 2 losses, but one was pretty much just a give up.
They lost Stephon Diggs in the offseason. They lost a couple defensive pieces by not paying those in the offseason. We thought this was going to be. We definitely thought this was a prove it year for Josh to prove that he's the guy and he's not just a people, because he's always had a good defense. He's had a great wide receiver. They lost also Gabe Davis. So not only did they lose their number 1, they lost their number 2.
Yeah.
Then they came in. Their main guy was a rookie wide receiver who didn't end up being the number 1 guy. It was, what was his name? Shakir, yeah. But I think honestly, this is what sucks sometimes about like NBA, NFL, certain MVPs in seasons is like they're both so good. No matter what you do, you're in the wrong in some way. Someone's going to show you a stat that's like, this is why he should be MVP. And you're like, damn, that's a good point. But personally, I think Josh is going to win it. Not even what I think, but I also think Josh Allen should win.
Both are very deserving of the award.
I will agree, 100%.
So, and I bet you they'll do some shit where Josh Allen wins the MVP, but then Lamar Jackson's the Offensive Player of the Year.
Something like that.
Like some shit like that.
But I also will say, in my heart, I want Lamar Jackson to win because every time he's won MVP, the Chiefs have won the Super Bowl. So I'm voting for Lamar just for that reason. But if I had an unbiased vote that doesn't involve my Chiefs winning,
we got two votes for Josh Allen and the Bills probably winning. Well, not Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen winning MVP.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think the Ravens are going to win this game.
I think the Bills are going to win the game.
Oh, man.
I think this is just me. This is me going out there. I think this very well could be a while before we see Josh Allen back in a conference championship. Unless they do something crazy in the offseason. I just think it's going to be hard for them to improve, I guess. I don't know their cap situation. I think they could get Tyreek Hill if they want.
I think the thing is, to tell you why I think this is going to happen, is I don't think the Ravens have a crazy good defense this year. And I'm not looking at stats, but I think their defense is probably better than the Bills.
Maybe, yes. Maybe.
But the thing that the Bills have going for them is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And the Ravens have an offense that's built to keep the ball away from him.
True.
So if they just
stick to the game plan, that's been their big thing in the playoffs. They don't stick to the game plan.
If they stick to the game plan and they run with Derrick Henry and they run with Lamar and do a bunch of just little dink passes, they could just keep the ball from Josh, and that will become that's why I think the Ravens will win.
I think it's a toss-up, so I'm good to go with the Ravens. We can pick the Ravens, but I personally think that the Bills will win the game. But I do think it's a toss-up. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins the game.
So we'll go with that because
we already know we're going to be conflicting right here because what you want is not what's going to happen.
So I do think it'd be fun to watch the Chargers win. Yes. That being said, I mean the Chiefs are going to win because
if the first season
because the refs are there.
Drops the mic. Yeah. That's all we say. But personally, if the first season we don't make it to the conference championship is because we lost to a division rival in the playoffs, I'm going to be so fucking sad. Yeah. I'm going to be so sad.
I think, but the thing is though, is I think this could be the time that Andy Reid's a great coach, but so is Jim Harbaugh.
This is also his first season back. I don't think it's the season.
But what if he comes out and he does? Because the thing that he's also been doing very well this year is they're very good at running the ball. And
but we are also the best run defense, one of the best run defense. We not still be.
Yeah.
But we were for at least the first 10 weeks the best run defense in the league. And that's also why I'm super happy with how these playoffs have gone, because us going against the Ravens, I understand they have two of the best runners in the league at two different positions.
Yeah.
But I also think our defense is really good at stopping the run.
Well, I just think y'all just have, unfortunately, the Ravens number. It's kind of like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Tom just always, no matter how good Peyton was, just seemed like Tom and Bill.
Tom had the better, usually the better team and the better coach.
It's just rough. You know what? I'll put you guys in the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna play you for a second.
Yeah.
The NFL wants the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Whether we win or lose, they want to talk about the potential three-peat.
And Taylor will be there.
And Taylor will be there.
Taylor will fucking be there.
So I do think the NFL, deep down, whether this is rigged or not, they want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl to just milk that three-peat talk on all national media.
But boy, howdy, I want you to know I have full confidence in the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell he's got Sonic and Knuckles. They got Sonic and Knuckles. They got Jared Goff playing great football. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have
Jahmyr Gibbs. They got Jameis.
Well, he's part of Sonic and Knuckles. He's part of Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That's their nickname.
Okay,
Sonic and Knuckles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that? They literally talk about you don't watch Detroit Lions football then, because every game they mention, especially since the movie just came out.
If I watch it with volume off.
Oh yeah, they talk about it all the time. And especially when the movie came out, they were like, and then the new movie's out. They use that as
really. That's
yeah,
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They dressed up. I'm pretty sure they dressed up as Sonic and Knuckles one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. That's their nickname. Cool nicknames get you to the Super Bowl.
We won't be able to agree on this.
The tush push is no longer cool, so it doesn't make it to the Super Bowl anymore. So
we're we're not going to agree on this. So
I know
you can just pick yours because I know I'm going with the Chiefs.
So I know you got to go with the Chiefs. They're in your heart.
Almost everybody on that team except for Jared Goff's never been to a Super Bowl before.
Yeah,
and our entire team basically has been to a Super Bowl before.
Yeah, it's going to suck because y'all going to.
I know.
Tom lost some.
I know.
Tom lost some too, buddy. And their defense, it's just, dude. Like it's not just their offense, which is fucking high powered. Like, and the shitty thing is, God, dude, if Aiden Hutchinson was still there,
I know.
Like, oh my God! But then they went and got Zadarius Smith, who's not as good as Aiden Hutchinson, but has filled that role. Their defense is nasty.
So is ours.
But they're playing with this swagger, the swagger of we're about like. I think the
what
NFL,
terrible swagger we have for 15-2.
I think so, and this is the thing, is the NFL needs the Detroit Lions to win, and I'll tell you why.
The team that hasn't won a Super Bowl to beat the team going for the three-peat?
Not just that, but think about in all honesty, think about what recent Super Bowl success has done for a team that was not very good in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, but they also have the greatest player who we've all ever seen in our entire lives, so that kind of helps.
Yeah, I mean, that does help. That does help. But
we had a terrible quarterback and we won 3 Super Bowls, no one give a shit.
So this is the thing, though, is this poor team in a very big city, by the way. Detroit's a big city.
Yeah.
This poor team has suffered for a long, long time. You just got to give them one, but not just one where they beat the greatest NFL player of all time. And now have
potentially, if the Lions didn't win the game, the greatest team of all time.
Yeah, so they
3 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, they win this, and now the Lions can suck for another 100 years. They get this one thing to hold on to. They're just releasing, like they're getting fandom back. They're like, hey, we need you guys to like this team again.
This guy's mouse has not hovered over the Chiefs once in this little Super Bowl picker. He's been just hovering over the Lions the whole time.
I mean,
we all knew what he was picking. But
let's go look at some stats.
Narrative aside, the Chiefs are going to three-peat.
Wait, let's go look at some stats, shall we?
You can look at stats, dude. Stats. I think we've all. I think we've all learned from last year's Chiefs drop wide receivers dilemma that stats don't mean shit come playoff time.
Let's see here. Let's go to the NFL. Let's go to stats. I mean, Jared Goff, he's second.
He really knows how to pass it 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and let the Sonic and Knuckles run it in.
Hey, do they have Jahmyr Gibbs?
There it is,
number 5. Amon St. Brown, number 5. I'm not seeing Kansas City Chiefs players up there.
Nope, because the regular season's practice. It's preseason. It's preseason for us. The regular season's the season for everybody. It's practice.
No defensive leaders, unfortunately.
Nope.
Because they got a bunch of good ones all over the place.
We do have a bunch of good ones.
Actually, hey, Kirby Joseph, number 1 in the league interceptions with 9. They just got dogs all over the place.
They got dogs all over.
And when you're in the doghouse.
The trump card, as you will. Do they have Patrick Mahomes? No.
But can we agree that Patrick hasn't been as Patrick-y this year?
No, the first half of the season he hasn't.
This might be the least amount of Patrick-y he's been this year.
The second half of the season, he's been fucking Patrick. He's had like 2 interceptions since like week 9.
Let's see here. He's got 26 and 11.
Yep, and he had like 9 after week 6.
Joe Burrow, bro, he's out here for 43 and 9. I feel so bad for Joe Burrow. I know you don't like Joe Burrow.
I know I don't mind Joe Burrow.
This guy, dude,
it's Cincinnati Bengals fans that I don't like.
It's just crazy that it's like, hey, number 23 in the league didn't play 9 games this year, and he's down there number 23 in the league. My man, Bryce, good job, Bryce.
But yes, this has been the least Patrick Mahomes a year. But the second half of the season was very Patrick Mahomes because our defense took a little bit of a dip, but Patrick Mahomes did not waver. He played well.
So I mean,
we'll see.
Who's your guys' top guy?
Probably not. We had 2 running backs basically.
Where's Kareem Hunt? I feel like
Kareem Hunt was used a lot, but he didn't gain a lot of yards. He was carried. We carried him to the fucking ground. If you do attempts, oh my god, he's probably near the top.
Yeah, you do not have a top 50 rusher.
Yeah, because he came in like week 4, and then once Pacheco came back, they were split in the backfield.
You'll have a top 50 receiver?
Probably not.
Damn, I feel bad for what are y'all doing for? Oh wait, there you go, Travis Kelce.
Yep, there he is,
number 39,
and he's had a down year. But number 39, he's had a down year.
I mean, that's fair. The thing is, Brock
but
Bowers.
We're 15-2. I mean,
Yeah, but y'all did.
You can say you.
Y'all did just get beat 38-0.
Yeah, with our backups. If anything, that's even more proof that Patch Mahomes is the fucking goat. Dude.
I don't know.
He's the goat.
Do we win? Do we win? Do we win anything? Do we win anything?
Just pick the Lions.
Oh, do we win anything if we're right or wrong? There's $70,000 in cash prizes on this.
I know. Then we should pick the team that's won 2 in a row just to be safe.
But the odds of them winning 3 in a row are
what
crazy
are the odds
low.
of them winning 2 in a row?
A lot better than 3 in a row.
No shit, because it's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's never happened before. We're going, you know.
You do it. I know.
Look at that. Let's just turn
when that exact scenario happens and the Chiefs win, oh, man.
And
we're not doing the pod the week after because Scott won't be able to face me.
The final score, how many total points will be scored?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
But this is all 13 games, so it's asking you to choose how many points are we scored in 13 games.
Ask ChatGPT.
I don't have Chat. Do you have
Chat? Just search it up on my computer.
Oh gosh. Do I just look up ChatGPT?
Yeah, just type in ChatGPT.
Sorry, everybody.
I use ChatGPT to give me advice on my PC build.
Oh, yeah?
Just a little bit. I was waiting on somebody to text me back, and they never did.
Okay. Oh boy.
I needed ChatGPT.
Oh gosh, I hate your keyboard. How many points in NFL?
While we wait, dun dun dun. I don't know why I just said dun dun dun. I was gonna do the fucking Jeopardy music, but I forgot the Jeopardy music.
Now you continue with your Gmail.
No. Just press X. Just press X out of it. Just X out. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, it made me. Oh, what? You're not in ChatGPT. You're in Charity. What the fuck is that?
Oh, Chatty. I don't know. I just looked up ChatGPT. You told me to look up just ChatGPT, and I looked up.
Yeah, it should have been.
It was right there.
That's not it.
Does it? Ask GPT?
OpenAI, that one. Introducing ChatGPT, OpenAI.
That's how they get you. I don't want to quiz you on vocabulary. No.
How many points will be scored in the NFL playoffs? Come on, man. In this year's playoffs.
I didn't have to be so so crazy with it. The computer would just know. Let's see here. It seems I can't do more browsing right now. If you have any other questions. Okay.
I didn't know if it would work.
I don't know. Here you go. You ready?
It's really good at answering PC build questions.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to say it's going to be
65,000.
65,000 points. So let's say
all playoffs combined, all the winners,
or no, just all total points will be scored in the 2024-25 NFL playoffs. So let's say every team. So okay, here we go. So let's say they average. If every game were to be like a close 17-21 game, that'd be about what 38 points a game, pretty much. If we right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we'll say 38 points a game times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games times 38. Time for us to be smart.
Yes, let's be smart. Let me quickly think about this for just
372. Right?
What was it again? Sorry, my brain forgot.
No, 400.
38 times how much?
410.
38 times 12.
13.
You said 38 times 13?
Yeah, it'd be 410, right?
No.
Damn it. What is it?
My brain tells me, I just took a second to think, it's 494.
Damn it, I was so close.
So do 500. Just do 500.
No, we're doing 494. Okay. Everybody else doing 500. We gotta be right about it. When the Detroit Lions win, it's $494 for things. We're submitting it.
So you heard it here first.
Never mind. We got another thing, so we're not submitting it.
I'll do my email for this.
No, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. But y'all did hear it first. The Lions will end the three-peat, and Roman's gonna be so sad. He's gonna be so sad. But everybody in America will be happy.
In this entire playoffs, I'm happy to lose to would be the Lions. So,
yeah, that's a fun team to listen to.
Yeah,
or not listen to watch. You know, their fans have suffered enough. If there's any fans, I feel like that you can like.
I can relate to.
Yeah, it's like, hey, your team sucked for a really long time, and now you're good. Welcome.
Well, they're good. They made it to the Super Bowl. They don't have to win to be good. They're
but now you're like real good. You won a Super Bowl.
No. They're fine. They beat the hardest division.
As a team that's gone to the Super Bowl twice and doesn't have a win, it doesn't feel good just to go to the Super Bowl, okay? So
yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel so great at the Super Bowl if y'all lost those games.
Been to 4 Super Bowls and haven't won one. Yeah, it'd be pretty sad.
Yeah,
but enough about the NFL.
We only went to 2 Super Bowls.
I know, but we went to 4. I'm saying if we went to these 4 Super Bowls that we went to and were 0-4 instead of 3-4, it'd be pretty sad.
All right, well, next on the list, Roman, I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, and I've realized that I shouldn't be so hasty and be so judgmental of players early on in their career.
Here we go.
And I just want to say that I am over Charles Lee and Brandon Miller. I am over both of them. Charles Lee. I want to like him. He's a young coach. He's a good-looking guy. If Dave Canales has taught me anything, is young, good-looking guy coaches are going to be able to connect with the players.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's doing a lot of connecting with the players, just not a lot of making them better players. I know. I think him and LaMelo
respect
like each other, and but I think it's just because they have had some moments where you've seen Charles try to coach him up and stuff like that. It's just I think he's too young and he doesn't have enough, I guess, wisdom or whatever to make them listen. So.
Then that's the player's problem, not his.
Well,
why do you have to hire a fucking old coach? The Celtics have a dude that's younger than Al Horford or as old as Al Horford.
Well, I'm not saying old. I don't know. It just seems like there's something going on where if Charles Lee has a way that he wants us to play, none of the players are listening to him, and I think that's you got to be able to get to not saying you have to be old, but you have to be able to get to the players and be able to get them to buy into whatever system you're trying to get them to buy into, and if your poor stand is.
I know it's off. I know that's I've just been holding it. It's fine. We're both holding our mics today.
Yeah, we're both holding our mics today. So if it sounds like we're going in and out, whoa, it's because we are. But it's just there's no if our offense is just jack up as many threes as possible, which it seems like that's what it is because we shoot the most amount of threes in the NBA.
Charles Lee is trying to do a dick comparison with Joe Mazzulla.
I guess, dude, but we do not have the roster to be doing this. No. And because there are a lot of times that I feel like the things that you guys do where somebody drives in and then they kick it out and then there's an open person. LaMelo can do that. But then he throws it to the open person, and then the open person just misses. So it could be that our players just aren't built for that style. But then it's as a coach, I feel like you should see that and be like, oh, even though this is the system I want to run, if I'm looking to be successful with these particular players, we might need to change things up. And I feel like we are 18. We have lost 18 of our last 19 games. After starting 4-6, because I remember we had that talk where I was like, "Oh, I can't believe we're this." Yeah. After being 4-6, we are 7-20 something. How many games have we played so far?
You're 7 and whatever.
Yeah, but we've only won 3 games since the last time I said I was excited about us winning 4 games. It's and I feel like part of it is because teams know we're bad, but then also part of it is there's no we literally play the same every night, so it's when does the coaching start? When does the because and the thing is it could you could blame LaMelo and be well, LaMelo's doing his own thing, but LaMelo also didn't play this way under Steve Clifford. LaMelo shot up some shots, but LaMelo's on one this year.
Yeah, in a good way though.
Yeah,
in a good way. For him in a good way.
For him in a good way.
For the team not.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the shitty thing is LaMelo is a very exciting player and he's our only exciting player. And so he gets a lot of shine, I think, because he's the only good product coming out of this one team who has cool colors and cool jerseys. Yeah. We have all the cool shit except good players to surround him with. And it's just frustrating because it's just even though he's shooting a bunch, to watch him go 2 of 19 from 3 some games, he wasn't shooting that much under Steve Clifford. So clearly the coach of there's some sort of coaching there where if LaMelo wanted to shoot 19 shots, I feel like LaMelo would have shot 19 shots last year knowing that Steve Clifford was going to be gone anyway. Why not play this way under a coach that is going to leave?
But also maybe he worked on his 3-pointer a lot last season because he
is shooting better. But there are nights that he's just really bad and it's just okay, as a coach, how I don't know. I don't see any other superstar going that bad, like shooting that badly, and then like the coach not either doing something, because like the other thing is, it's not like all the LaMelo shots are, oh, he's wide open, he set his feet, he's shooting it. It's not like that.
He's jacking up
sometimes he's jacking up some crazy shit, and sometimes it goes in and it's very fun. But there's other times where it's just like 4 seconds into the shot clock, we're down fucking 15, and LaMelo takes a logo 3, and it's like there's no way like Charles put up the number 3, and that meant shoot a logo. I want the 4-second possession logo 3 play. Like, I don't know. Like, so it's just very frustrating, because I feel like every year it's like
you start off somewhat decent,
decent, and then instantly it just all falls apart. And now, like, our bench is awful. Yeah. We have an awful bench.
I think that's part of it.
Trey Mann is the only good thing that we had.
He's been injured. He was injured for a little bit.
Yeah, he's still injured. Yeah, his back. He's got like some sort of fucking disc problem. So I don't know, man. It's just very frustrating. Like, I want to like Charles Lee, but like I don't see the coaching part yet. And then like I don't see, besides us just looking like a very shitty Celtics team.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that might be the problem too, is that like, if we were good at this, that'd be one thing, but you don't have the players to be good at that particular style of basketball. So I would hope, as a basketball coach, especially a professional one, you maybe would have 2 different types of offense. Like you can't be married to this one if you don't have that team to run that type of offense.
So, and I think this goes in all sports, and even players and coaches combined. There's obviously anyone that gets to this level, whether coach, player, you're good at what you do. You're pretty solid. But there are plenty NFL players, NBA players, coaches that are good at one specific thing or need things around them to be good. Do I think Charles Lee could be a good coach? I do think so. But I also think, like you're saying, is he doesn't have the personnel around him to do what he wants to do, and I don't think he's a good enough coach to adapt to that, or at least adapt well, or even be willing to adapt to that. So like Greg Popovich.
I was going to bring up Popovich.
Like other coaches, people that have adapted
been coaching for a real long time. Like Popovich does not coach the Spurs like he did in 2008 when he was coaching the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? And of course, one is because he does not have the same personnel. Yeah. But think about if Jeremy Sochan was running he was like, well, this is how we did it with Duncan, so we're going to do it with you now. Get in there. That's dumb as hell.
It's like Doc Rivers. You got like Mike Brown, 2 guys that have been doing it since like early 2000s and have been continuing. Like
Eric Spoelstra.
Like Mike Brown just got fired, but he's had good stints with the Cavs, good stints with the Cavs again. He's been a Lakers coach. He led the Kings to the playoffs. They got Game 7 against the Warriors. Like, these are these are great coaches. They're not probably going to be legendary coaches. No. Maybe Doc. Maybe.
He's got championships.
But, like, there are coaches that have adapted over time and have adjusted their offense accordingly. Like Mike Brown stole some stuff from Steve Kerr, who he was assistant for. Stole some stuff from
that's what you do.
Some Phil Jackson's. That's what you do. Maybe Charles Lee gets there eventually, but right now he's trying to run. Honestly, I told you we talked about this before after you hired him. He's trying to run what Joe Mazzulla runs. But you ain't got the goddamn
thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, cool.
If you just ran your starters, you could probably be decent.
Yeah, but the problem is like
the second your bench comes in.
Yeah, the second our bench comes in, we're still running the same offense, and it's like, dude, this is not what we need to be doing. And then and then Josh Green is
not playing how he played in Dallas.
He's not playing how he played in Dallas, but also like, I don't think we play him like we're not utilizing him the way that he was utilizing Dallas either, though. So, and then who knew Grant Williams was going to be such a fucking pivotal part of just like our defensive culture?
Yeah,
I feel like our defense got soft as hell once he left, and he was willing to go and run into Jason Tatum and be that tough guy and be fucking like,
bitch.
And was it dirty? Bitch. Yes, I did not like that play. I think I came out and said, "Hey, dude, that's no go."
Yeah, big time dirty.
But like. Besides that, like, there's just other times that he'd be like that guy who's like the Draymond, the guy who's going to try to set this defensive tone.
Yep, or get under people's skin.
Yep.
He's failed at that many times, though.
Yep.
But I will say, I have a hot take on LaMelo. I want to preface that I have multiple LaMelo shoes. I do like LaMelo.
Yeah.
But I do not think he can be the best player on a good team.
Yeah.
I think he has to do some type of role because he's a good offensive player.
Yeah.
He passes the ball well. He makes good passes. He can
he turns
hot
it over
at
a lot,
times.
though. That's
he turns it over a lot. He, for being 6'7", 6'8", that man sucks ass at defense. He's possibly one of the worst defenders.
And he fouls as soon as he's beat. Like, that's the other thing. He fouls as soon as he's beat.
Him, Jaren Jackson, like, they just, those two types of players that just have really bad defensive habits.
But the crazy thing is, dude, is like, if you watch him, there will be some games that, like, if there's a really good player in front of him,
turns it on.
He turns it on, and he's out there, and he's getting steals. But it's like, as soon as the game gets a little bit away, he just gets so sloppy. And as a coach, you should realize that, and either coach, hey, today in practice, we are doing defensive. Yeah. You've worked enough on your three. We're doing defense. Or, hey, Josh Green, the defensive guy that you will now guard the point. Like, I just feel like that doesn't happen enough. Like,
I don't know about the defensive settings, but yeah, I mean, like, every single player that's in the NBA can play good defense. It's just a matter of a lot of the times or the role that they have, like him and Luka, or that are asked to do so much for the offense.
And he is asked to do a lot for the offense. So but the other problem is I don't think LaMelo will
ever be a number two or want to be a number two.
I don't think he can be on a team where he's number two.
I don't know if he can either.
So I think
LeVar's got to put that ego in him.
And I think that's what makes us the perfect place for him. Because
I don't know where else he's going to get.
Where else are you going to go that they're going to let you run pretty much, not the organization, but just like when you're on the field, LaMelo, or court, we're going to let you do all the dumb, silly shit you want as long as you make it exciting.
Yeah.
And eventually, if he went to the Lakers or to the not the Mavs, if he went to San Antonio, and do you think Pop is going to let? No, dude. Like, Popovich is not. Player. Yeah. Which also. Could totally help him out. Yeah. And like, so I just wish we could
evolve over time. At least within the next, like his contract, which is like, what, 4 more years or something like that. Yeah. I don't see him being a different player than he is right now. And unless you guys hit somebody in the draft that just basically kind of what Anthony Edwards did to Cat, kind of force your hand and be like, okay, like either you fucking step aside and let this guy be the show or you're gone.
And I mean, and that was supposed to be kind of Brandon Miller. But the thing is, dude,
it's year 2.
But
not
like,
everyone's
dude,
Anthony Edwards.
I know, but like his bag is so limited, and like there's times that he gets hot and he's shooting pretty well, but it's like when we need him to be the guy, he seems to kind of back away from it, and like he passes like when it's just like it. If LaMelo has to go out because he fouls 3 times real fast, and it's like, oh, now it's Micic in there, and we're going to try to run through Brandon Miller. It's like, oh, this is like you can clearly see what the hell's going on here, and I don't know, man. And I'm just so tired of him going for a midi, not getting the midi, going for a floater, and then just whiffing a floater, bro. It's just,
I don't know. If you guys finish like almost dead last,
which we're right there.
You're very close. I do think it's a terrible mistake to fire your coach again. Honestly, like you can't put Brandon Miller through that. 3 coaches, possibly 3 different philosophies or ways they go about. Because Steve Clifford definitely drastically different from Charles Lee.
Yeah.
And let's say you go Mike Brown. Honestly, Mike Brown would be a great hire this offseason for any coach because he just got fired. But I think firing the coach is the absolute wrong move because it puts your year 3 guy, whose year 3 is supposed to be huge leaps for players. It puts Brandon Miller in a bad spot. It puts LaMelo in another uncertainty like role or like just like of the team because not every rookie coach is going to get a team to a playoff and win a playoff series, even compete in a playoff series.
Yeah.
So like going a rookie coach again, just basically setting up, hey, this is another year we're trying to figure things out, and that's just not what you want at all. So you got to keep. I feel like no matter how bad, you got to keep Charles Lee, and you got to work on Brandon Miller, LaMelo. I don't know if Miles Bridges.
We need to move off Miles Bridges too. Miles Bridges,
you need a big. You need a paint defender. When's the last time?
The problem is we're running him at power forward now. Miles Bridges. So he's like. But the problem is we have LaMelo at point, Brandon Miller at shooting guard, Josh Green at small forward, Miles Bridges at the 4, and then we have soft ass Mark Williams at the 5. Like
it's bad.
Like we just don't have like the size to like be a tough team as far as defense goes, and we get caught ball looking. Like it's not just LaMelo. this the whole team.
And I think
will get caught ball watching, and it's just
tough. It's something you got to work throughout the season, and like the coach just needs to fucking implement.
But these are things that they've been kind of doing. Like this is why, like since the James Brago days. But the problem is James Brago was like at least like, hey, I understand we totally suck at defense, so we're just going to try to score as much as we possibly can, as efficient as we can. And I honestly hate that we fired James Brago.
Like, I thought he was a decent coach.
He had us at 44 wins twice, and like sure we were getting blown out in the playing game, but like
we were making
the playing game, and like hey, let's learn. Okay, so now clearly we're like
another issue for a rookie head coach coming into a situation like this, and for a team in general. Who's the leader on your team? Who's the person that's like, hey guys, let's play some defense. Let's get a stop. Who's that leader? Who is it? Do you know who it is?
Well, I feel like it was Grant Williams back in the day.
Okay, now who is it?
Dude, that's what I'm trying to say. Is
so, like it's hard for a coach if you don't have a guy out there that can basically be the coach on the floor, which LaMelo's great at running the offense, but you need someone to lock your team in like, hey, guys, we're down by 2. One more stop. Let's go. Let's get this lock. Like, who's that guy? You don't have that guy right now. You can get that guy, or someone can become that guy over a year or two. It's going to make the head coach's job a lot easier because you need that guy.
The other thing is, and I don't know if I can pull up this particular stat, but we have the like the widest margin of free throws given versus free throws,
and that's bad. That's not necessarily bad coaching, but also just bad techniques or bad body.
Not to be like, hey, refs are not calling fouls, but I think unfortunately LaMelo has a certain arrogance about him, and certain that like we unfortunately don't get calls that we should. Yeah. Because refs don't want to give LaMelo the call. Yeah. But there's plenty of times, dude, where like there's guys on LaMelo, like LaMelo will beat him, be driving, gets fucked with, something that they just called on the other side on us, and we don't get it. And it's just like, and I try not to be that fan that's like, my team's not getting the foul. But like when you look at like just the numbers, because they bring it up a lot when we're during Hornets games, it's just like, bro, like, how are y'all so tight over there? But like the amount of times I've seen us get called, and I'm not trying to say that they weren't good calls, but we get called a lot on not letting a player land properly, like like the Zubac rule,
player like space,
because Kawhi Leonard,
Zaza Pachulia, Zaza Pachulia,
but we get called for that. I feel like quite a bit. But then, like, I feel like when it happens to us, there's like, I feel like there's times we don't get the call, and I'm like, what the fuck? But y'all are quick to call LaMelo on that shit. Like,
I can't say here or there because I don't watch every single one. So I can't say here or there with that. But also, I will say one young team, which I'm pretty sure you have a fairly young team.
We have a youngish team,
and then also just like basically just attention to detail. I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's one thing JJ Redick basically gets pissed off like every JJ Redick gets pissed off all the time. He's like attention to detail, attention to the game plan, attention to all the bad habits that we do and being better at that. What?
Oh my god.
Youngest NBA team.
You'll see.
What the heck? I've never had any. No, I don't log in and I ask ChatGPT on my phone all the time. That's weird. But I don't know. It seems like there's an identity crisis in terms of leadership on your team because, honestly, that's another, I'd say, bad check mark on LaMelo is I don't think he's much of a leader. He's not going to be like, hey, guys, we need to start playing some defense. He's like, yeah, guys, he's like, let's just play some ball, all right? Like, that's a big thing. It's tough to find a leader on that team at this moment in time unless someone just becomes one magically. Yeah.
So we are kind of in the middle.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, because here's the youngest NBA teams, which is Oklahoma City is the youngest NBA team.
Insane.
That's frightening.
Insane. Amazing at drafting.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, but see, like, the Knicks are at 25 years old. The Lakers are at 25. And then we are also at 25.3. So.
We're the Celtics. 26.3. Okay.
Yeah. The oldest team is the Philadelphia 76ers. And then the Phoenix Suns, and then the Clippers, and then the Golden State Warriors.
Yep. That's funny.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we're up here, like, but that's the thing is, like, a lot, like, our few young stars are young, But everybody else we got is fucking Seth Curry, and hell, Micic was a rookie last year at 30.
That is true. It doesn't help that you have a young rookie or an old ass rookie on your team. Yeah, Hornets basketball. That's
bad.
Bigger question mark than the Panthers, and who thought I'd be saying that after the NFL season?
Yeah, I feel like I am.
No, you were more optimistic. You're like, I can't wait for Hornets basketball.
Yeah, dude. And then what also sucks is Tar Heels also fucking blow. Like it's rough for me. But hey,
in Carolina.
Bill Belichick.
We haven't.
Bill Belichick's in town, baby. I don't know, but I'll talk. Bill Belichick's in town, and his Instagram is blowing up. He said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So hey, and you know what else is great? Pat McAfee loves Bill, so that means Bill's gonna be on Pat McAfee. Everybody loves Pat McAfee.
Not everybody, but yeah,
a lot of people.
A lot of the old heads of College Game Day think he's ruining College Game Day, but I don't know.
No,
I don't watch College Game Day that often.
So. Hey, he does the kick, and everybody likes the kick.
The kick's cool.
And then he does the thing where he'll sing the songs and then say, y'all fucking suck. Go other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So NBA stuff, obviously my Celtics are actually freaking amazing and making the NBA boring, as said by a Scooter multiple times.
They're not the ones making the NBA boring. It's the teams trying to emulate what they're doing.
It's the advanced stats and all that.
Yeah, it's the fact that they saw that a team did it so efficiently that everybody wants to now try to do that.
And I have a rant, Roman's rant of the week. It's been a while since we've done this. I went on my little mini rant last night in the group chat, or not the group chat, but in the Discord. So I'm sure all those people that heard this already are about to tune out. So thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate you. Stay around. Skip to the end of the episode for Rival Rivals talk if you want to hear that. I know we all do.
That's crazy high for us. That's great. They just say we're 47% to win against the Suns tonight. That's crazy high for us.
But there's been talk that, NBA ratings are down. The NBA is boring. It's losing its appeal because, one, they can't find the stars that like LeBron and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are like now to like replace them because they're coming towards the end. I think though the issue with ratings is there's too many places that you have to watch games. Your local teams, you got to find them on your local channels. National televised games, there's ESPN and TNT, and then there's all the other ones on the NBA app. There's too many payments you have to make. NBA League Pass that only does non-nationally televised games except for your local games that you have to find, and then
on the FanDuel Sports app.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you have to like buy subscriptions or one illegally stream that some people do, I included. I think that's a big reason. I think a lot of people watch the NBA a lot more than what the views say because there's so many illegal streams going on. But also, I made this point. We'll make it again. How easy it is to look up advanced stats for everything in the NBA is also leading to like less watch because people like what you can do right now is pull up all this freaking stats for every team on this computer with literally 3 clicks that it took you to get to this point and have all the breakdowns of everybody and all the little plus minuses and stuff that we didn't have access to as well. There's also different websites that do all different types of advanced stats that you can pull and make any argument for anyone without ever watching a game. And I think that it is a way and a bad thing, but it's also an unavoidable thing. I also think people think this shooting threes era is boring in the 2010s. The mid-range shooting and stuff was better. It was boring. Also, it was boring in its own way. They were all boring in its own way. Like, go back to like a game in 2000, dude. How many people are sitting inside the paint like not doing anything while there's a guy in the mid-range like going to work by himself? Yeah, there was some plays that they ran, but those plays have been transformed into new plays now. They're not just running around freelancing and just chucking up threes. They're running sets to get these open shots. Is it sometimes a little bit more simple sets because of how spaced the floor is? Yeah, but that's just how hard it is to guard in today's NBA. I mean, you had specialized players back then that only played defense that couldn't shoot a three to save their life, so you didn't have to guard them on offense. Now the players that lock down on D are also deadly from the three-point line if you leave them open. That's just me. But I just think everyone is nitpicking right now because that's the easy thing to do. I also think a lot of people that are complaining about the boringness of the NBA don't watch the NBA. That's just my personal opinion as a person that watches a lot of NBA. Lately, I have not watched that much NBA because I've been addicted to something else. Little rant that everyone's probably already tuned out that I don't think the NBA is as boring as people think it is, and just because they're shooting threes doesn't make it boring. If you don't like them shooting threes and you'd rather them shoot deep twos because that's more exciting, that's just weird to me. I don't know. What, because you can do a fadeaway Kobe MJ2, it makes it more exciting than shooting the stand pull-up three? I don't know. I guess. But I think the NBA is exciting as ever because I think every player on the court is so skilled as opposed to back in the day. And it's just harder to guard. Like, everyone's trying on defense. It's not like nobody tries. Also, if you want to watch mid-2010s basketball, early 2000s, 90s basketball, watch a fucking NBA playoff game because the mid-range is alive and well in the playoffs. The defense is alive and well in the playoffs. And just awesome games every single night is there in the playoffs.
I think so.
There's also too many games, and that's tough for everyone to watch.
I think another thing that also is a difference between I think players may have just had a little bit more pride back in the day, as far as like during regular season, like they wanted to go out there, and not saying that players aren't going out there trying their hardest now, but like God, what is it called where players don't play because they want to rest?
Load management.
Load management.
The last couple of years they've done a good job at removing the load management.
But I feel like that was part, like, it's just players used to, like, I feel like not try maybe every game, but like we'll go out there and put on a show. Where now, like you're saying, like the reason why the best basketball gets played in the playoffs is because the players are now starting to play for real, and maybe that's kind of what we're missing, is there's less of that happening throughout the regular season because players are very smart about what actually matters. Yeah. And if your team is good enough to be good, just cruising through the regular season, and then of course have to be really good during the playoffs, and that's what matters, you know. So that might be part of it, but like I used to really, really enjoy like early 2010 basketball, like 2004. When LeBron, like, this kind of thing, I know I talk a lot of shit about LeBron, but LeBron was really like one of the first players that like when I first started paying attention to basketball and just like professional sports in general, was like LeBron getting drafted and stuff like that. So like,
I also don't think people realize how star hungry the NBA was before LeBron James came in. Like there wasn't all these stars all over the place because the 90 stars were dying out.
Yeah, they were all
trying to replace them with 2000 stars, but that was basically just like Tim Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Allen Iverson.
The best teams, the best players were just on really, really good teams.
They were hungry for the more stars in the league, and LeBron and that draft class kind of jolted just like a next level of stars. But continue on your point. The 2004.
But I mean, I think that maybe it's just also nostalgia is a thing where, Steve Nash in the 7-second offense was just crazy to me. That's why I'm a huge Steve Nash fan. That's why he's my favorite player, because I was watching the game evolve from a little bit, a much slower game.
Very slow. Very boring, I might add.
So, and honestly, that might be what made me really like Steve Nash, was like, oh, wow. Or not just Steve Nash, but Mike D'Antoni, the whole Suns thing. Was just like, wow, like not only are they like running around playing really good offense, but like they're also one of the better teams. This is exciting. They can actually be a team that shows that like you don't have to play great defense to be a top tier team, which might have started part of the reason
that was the start.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and then Steph came out and showed like, hey, also you get a guy who can shoot as good as me out here.
Then the Celtics became one of the most efficient teams of all time, and really made like, hey, you need a really good team to beat a really good team. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a hater of the early 2000s. I'm not a hater of the 2010s. Those were the times, like just like you, where I became a lover of the game of basketball. But also having a team that has basically two guys sitting in the post and one of them probably doing nothing and the other one like doing most of the work. Like, I don't know. It was just, there was a lot of standing around for certain players.
But at the same time, the players that were out chilling by the three were probably low 30% 3-point shooters. So like
now being a low 30% is bad. Not bad, but that was the best it was. Low 30%. Now it's like, hey, good job.
That's what I'm saying, but it was more efficient probably for Tim Duncan to do his hook shot or whatever, work in the post, than it was for them to kick it out to God, what's his name? He had bald head. He was great at defense. Now I can't think of his name.
Manu Ginobili?
No. Starts with a B.
Yeah,
Bruce Bowen.
Bruce Bowen, yeah.
Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen was that guy that they would kick it out to, who played defense that they would kick it out to.
Horry was a guy too.
But like, let's see here. I just wonder what Bruce Bowen's like career 3-point.
Oh man, he's not even close. He's probably like,
oh boy,
freaking Brandon Miller probably passed him his rookie year.
Where's my phone? We gonna look it up on the phone real quick.
Yeah, I mean, the nostalgia's fine. Like, I don't know. I just feel like people are wanting something to happen that's just not a possibility. And I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to go back to when games finished 70 to 80.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Because I don't know if anyone else watches college basketball. But that's how those games end, and those games are fucking boring. If you want to go back to like early 2000s basketball, go watch college basketball, because that's what it is, but it's way worse. It's terrible. It's boring.
Well, hold on. I'm sorry, Bruce Bowen. I'm sorry. In his 8 years with the San Antonio Spurs, and that's when I knew him the most.
Yeah.
He shot 40% from three.
Oh, wow.
Good yep. 40.5%. They won like
4 championships with him.
Yeah.
Like
so, hey, I'm sorry. I'll take a little bit. Now, his other years, he shot 35% and 31% for Boston. For the 2 years he played for Boston, he shot 31%. And for the 3 years he played for Miami, he shot 35%. But for the 8 years he played for San Antonio.
But he was also, like not even 2 3-pointers a game? Attempted, or maybe 3 attempted a game?
2.6.
There we go.
And he'd make one. He'd make one out of 2.6, yeah. So,
that's and the fact that people are chucking up way more than that now and have 40% is just like, that's just...
Yeah,
people can talk about like bad defense, but dude, it's just the fucking crazy ass spacing we have now. Like, everybody can shoot. Like, if you can't shoot, your team's at a disadvantage immediately. Like, you have a Rudy Gobert, he's fine in the regular season. You come playoffs, you're at a disadvantage. He can't shoot.
That's like LaMelo right now is shooting 13 threes a game. He's shooting 13 threes a game, and he's making 4.4.
And he is percentage
34%.
I mean, shit.
Like, yeah, like,
and you take that, and that's what's bad about the analytics is that you see that he's like, man, he shot just 6% less than Bruce Bowen did, but he's shooting fucking 12 more 3-pointers, 11 more 3-pointers. It's like
he's shooting 24 shots a game.
I just think I wish people wouldn't take it for granted, like what we're living in right now, because like we are just living in the most talented era of sports in general. Obviously, it's going to get better and better, hopefully, as the years go on. But, like, especially basketball. Like, every player on the court is so fucking good. And, like, I've mentioned this in my rant before. It's like, we had guys like Tony Allen. We had guys like Rajah Bell that literally just played clamp defense, and that's it. You'd be lucky if that man made a mid-range shot, let alone a 3-point shot. Now we have guys like Drew Holiday. We have Derek White. We've got Jalen Suggs. We've got Alex Caruso. We've got Jaden McDaniels. We've got all these 3-and-D that do just as good defense, but also contribute to shooting the actual basketball. And that's just, it's hard to guard. It's hard to guard.
You got Jokic out here shooting 43%. He only takes 4.8 threes a game. I mean, and he makes 2.3.
And that's also like,
like
if y'all want to watch, like, and I said this when I went on my rant with the boys, like, if y'all want to watch somebody play in the mid range, watch like all the players that live in the mid range. Jokic, he's such a fantastic post player. Watch some Denver Nuggets games. Become a Denver Nuggets fan. Watch Anthony Davis and the Lakers. They go through Anthony Davis this year. Anthony Davis is the guy that the ball runs through this year. Not that he's the highest, maybe the highest scorer. Dude, go watch Kevin Durant. Go watch Bradley Beal. Go watch CJ McCollum when he's healthy. Go watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Go watch the fucking Oklahoma City Thunder if you want to watch mid-range basketball, because that man don't shoot threes. Go watch last year Anthony Edwards, because this year he's shooting too many threes. Like, there are watch Jalen Brunson. That man loves mid-range work. He also shoots a lot of threes. But, dude, there's so many. Watch Donovan Mitchell, man.
Dude, freaking Victor Wembanyama averages 9.4 threes a game. I don't watch him enough, but it's
crazy.
Shots. It's crazy how many threes he shoots.
He's been snapped at a few times by some people to go inside. Like, somebody like literally mouthed, I think, one game, "You're 7 foot, go to the basket."
You know what's crazy is though? But like, look at this. Like, so I'm just looking at 3-pointers made, but like also looking at how many they're attempted. number one in 3-point attempts per game is LaMelo with 12.9.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller is number 2 with 11.
He's starting to start a movement. I mean, year one might be rough, but I think Charles Lee has a formula. What's Jason Tatum's percentage, by the way?
Jason Tatum he shoots 10.5. He makes 3.9. He's 36.9%.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But I don't know. And then this is the same with all eras. You can't look at the best teams in each era and not also look at the worst teams in each era. Because if you look at the worst teams in the 2010s and you tell me that's good basketball, no, it's way better basketball now. The worst teams in the NBA right now are playing better basketball than the worst teams in the 2010s. Because guess what? The worst team of all time is in the 2010s. That was the Philadelphia 76ers and the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
2 of the worst teams of all time, by the way. So go look at them and tell me.
We were the Bobcats at the time,
yes,
but yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
But
shortened season. Shortened season.
That's also why. The
Yep.
non-shortened season, the Philadelphia 76ers worst team.
We were the shortened season ones. That's why we had the least amount of wins, I think, because it was a shortened season.
Watch what you want to. There's so many good players. Sum up my rant. There's so many good players in the NBA that do different things. If you want to watch a certain way of playing, there are so many avenues for that. So go watch that. So yeah, that's our NBA rant. Outside of sports, anything you want to talk about outside of the podcast? What you've been up to? Any things at all? Stuff like that.
No, Roman. I haven't been playing the most popular hero shooter on the planet right now like you have.
Yeah.
All right. We all know that you love Marvel Rivals and everything about it.
I do want to talk. a little bit about Marvel Rivals Overwatch talks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we can have a nice little dialogue here because you were OG Overwatch. I was a part of the beta.
OG Overwatch,
the beta
baby.
for Marvel Rivals, and I think the alpha, the OG alpha. But
I was also part of the beta for Overwatch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so you're kind of from the ground of Overwatch. I'm from the ground of Marvel Rivals. What do you think was the peak Overwatch time frame from when to when?
It was probably around 2006.
That's when it came out, 2016.
Yeah,
right?
I want to say probably 5 or 6 months after it came out.
Yeah.
To be honest, on my Overwatch journey, I did not like Overwatch at first. I played the beta. I thought it was very slow. I was a Call of Duty guy. I wanted to be fast. Where's the sprint button? But I learned to love certain characters like Torbjorn, who was awfully broken. And then they fixed a lot of stuff. But I would say it was probably about a year, when the big competitive Overwatch started happening.
Did it blow up when it first came out?
Yes,
that's that. It was blown kind of like
Overwatch.
This.
Yeah,
Obviously
Overwatch blew up
because this game is not as popular.
Yeah,
as it was back then,
but Overwatch blew up. It was.
Was it one game of the year?
It won game of the year. It was Blizzard. It was the brand new Blizzard IP. It had some hype behind it. The world building and the cinematics were amazing. Honestly, that's what got me into it. And that's the one thing I do like about Marvel Rivals is I do listen to the voice lines and read the shit about it and learn what's happening in the world because it is Marvel and I'm a little superhero nerdy guy.
Yeah.
But it was like I said, it was right between when professional Overwatch was starting to really blow up right into Overwatch League. I feel like when the Overwatch League started, it was popping. You had so many there was metas, but there were so many good players with so many characters that sure, your team might run this meta, but this team signed a great Tracer, and they have to run. You're dumb if you're not running this guy at Tracer.
Yeah.
Or this guy named Jonak, he made Zenyatta he won MVP of the first Overwatch League with Zenyatta.
Yeah.
And he literally was he was a great healer, but he was crazy with those hands. So you got to see all this stuff blow up, and it gave you an idea of oh, my character can be good no matter what the meta was. And then GOATs happened.
And then they started.
And then GOATs really, I feel like GOATs was the downfall of, it was just everybody choose the same hero, everybody run the same comp, and you just try to see who can either get ults first or who can outweight the other team to use their ults. And like I don't know, that's when it became.
Then they started like really. Then roll queue came.
Yeah,
so you had to do roll queue.
Yeah,
and then a bunch of like extra.
They just really
tried to balance.
Yeah, they really tried to balance it out, which then made it where if everybody's balanced, nobody's broken, and it's anybody fun type of deal.
Do you think Overwatch could have benefited from making everybody broken with little balance, so that everyone in their own way can be broken? Because it wasn't necessarily like you balanced it so like people that were really good with specific characters could still be good, but they weren't necessarily broken.
But I think the problem is Overwatch League became such a big deal.
They focused more on appeasing them as opposed to the fan base.
Yeah, like Overwatch League was such a huge moneymaker for them, I think, at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, something they were really trying to push because they wanted to like the Overwatch League finals like aired on Disney. Like so they were like trying to get this thing like popping on like mainstream stuff, and I think when you're doing that, you're
focusing too much.
You gotta have a game that is fair and understanding and stuff like that. And I don't know if Marvel is doing that yet. Not saying there isn't competitive Marvel out there.
There is. They've done a bunch of tournaments so far.
But maybe Disney and Marvel don't need like if the competitive scene falls out. It's not going to ruin Disney and Marvel where, like, maybe Overwatch really needed this competitive scene to play out to make our game relevant for a long time.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, and then they kind of ruined it with Overwatch too. You know, so.
They definitely did. They stole our money. We'll never forgive them for that.
Yeah, they stole our money.
So, yeah, like, for Marvel, like, I love it because I'm a Marvel guy. I'm not as deep in, like, comics as you are, but I do like Marvel characters and stuff, and I really was hooked to this game from the beta up to now. I'm fucking just extremely addicted. But, I do like what you were saying at the beginning where everyone was kind of broken, busted.
Yeah.
Every character was viable. When the game first came out, Marvel, everyone thought certain characters were terrible. Then eventually, as people started to learn the game, every character is viable. The people at the top of the ranks, like the top 500 is filled with a bunch of people that play all different types of characters because they figured out the characters.
Yeah.
Wolverine, after the first 5 days, everyone thought was the worst character in the game. Now he's like almost banned all the time in Eternity. Or if you come across one guy you know that's a Wolverine goat, you ban him. But
Bub.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do because obviously, you know, first couple seasons, it's honeymoon phase like it was for Overwatch. Like it's probably going to be for Marvel Rivals. But how are the balances, the nerfs,
yeah, I mean,
the buffs?
And that's the thing is like once they start buffing and like.
What's it going to do to the game?
What happens?
New characters. What's going to happen with that?
Who are you trying to appease? Because you're going to piss off somebody, and then are you going to then turn around and try to fix that, and then you're going to piss off somebody else that you change something else about somebody else? You know, and
if you really like the game though, and you like to play ranked, and you get to diamond, the banning stuff, that's a cool thing that Overwatch has never done. That I know a lot of Overwatch creators say that they always try to push Overwatch to do is do bans. They never want
well, Overwatch would do weekly bans where they would have a character that was going to be banned that week, which towards the end of Overwatch League was pretty cool too because like, if May was a big part of the comp that like in that season, this particular week on Overwatch League, none of them, even in comp, like you weren't going to be able to use May.
Yeah.
So that was like they would force other things to happen. But the problem is that there was just so many comps that were like, oh well, if you can't use that comp, then the next comp to use is this one, and it was just so.
So everyone had a backup.
Yeah.
Like if this person gets banned, this is the comp.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's interesting. I don't think Marvel's going to do roll queues anytime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe they will at some point. I do sometimes, as I'm playing the game, I see the what was it called? What was it called? What was the meta? The meta for Overwatch that killed. What was it called? Sorry, the
ghosts?
Meta.
Yeah, goats.
Goats comp. I see like potential in that.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen like some tanks. Like Thor can kind of be like a DPS output, and then there's a support that can be a DPS output. And you do like the 3 tanks, 3 healers. I think that could come at some point. I think my mic disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Why did it disconnect?
Uh-oh.
I don't fucking do anything.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. How long has that been?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, that's connected.
I think it's good now. I think I may have pulled my thing.
Yeah, but you're not up here, so let's see here. Is
it not showing?
No. Okay, then we're going to do...
All right, back. Sorry.
Go.
If you missed my rant, I'll probably cut it out so you won't actually hear it. But just one thing that Marvel's going to have over Overwatch is they obviously have a pool of lore to go through. Which
they're actually making their own lore for this, though.
No, I'm not. Sorry, not lore, but like characters is what I mean. So like that they can release more characters than Overwatch is able to. Which you keep releasing like 2 to 4 characters a season, that hero base is going to be crazy. I don't know. They're honestly going to have a choice not to be able to balance because like how do you balance fucking 50 characters?
Yeah,
you have to just make everybody playable.
But then that means that then that's how people fall. So for instance, Moira.
Yeah,
I always felt like Moira fell through the cracks of being balanced properly in Overwatch.
They just always made her
because she came out broken. But then I forgot who they released after her. But I think it was Brigitte. I think she came out and she was more broken. So then it was like
just forgot,
we need to fix her first.
And they forgot about Moira.
And I feel like they just she just got lost through the cracks and is like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why Moira is always a thing because auto locking and crazy things that go through shields.
There's a couple auto locks on Marvel, just like Moira. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm interested. I've been trying hard, y'all, to get Scooter involved in Marvel Rivals and Addicted, but he's a loyal boy. He's loyal.
No, I'm not really even that loyal.
He's not. He just knows he'd much rather play the other game that he has a bunch of skins in and a bunch of time in, and he's really good at already.
Yeah, I'm really good at it. I know how to be diva. Characters. I can go be diva, and then everybody after the game will go, "Dude, you're really good at diva."
Yeah.
Then I go, "Yeah, I am."
And I do low key like miss like play of the game. I do like the MVP, but like play of the game didn't be like, hey, you were the best player in that game. No, it was the best player.
Yeah, watch this cool
shit.
Then,
you got people like someone that's going to listen to this podcast. It's always like, how did he get MVP and not me? What the heck? Like, it's like people care too much about this MVP shit.
I want to be MVP.
Yeah.
I look. So when I do play with you, I try to keep my name with the ace on it, and then I get real mad when like towards the end of the game I see like somebody else.
Lose it.
Yeah, like oh god damn it! Like not only did I want to win, I wanted to be the one.
I know.
I wanted to be the one.
It's kind of bad. I wish they just did play of the game, or like Quick Play did play of the game, and then Rank did like MVP. Because like it'd be nice to just show the best play, and not necessarily be like, "Hey guys, you weren't the best on your team, but this guy was. He won."
But at the same time, like it's pretty nice because like one thing about the play of the game with Overwatch is like sure you would see a cool play of the game, but like how many times was it like you'd see a play of the game and you go, why the fuck was that play of the game? Yeah. And then you would have a cool play of the game that you were like, man, I wish y'all could have seen my play of the game.
Now you can.
Now you can see that. Like you can tell everybody, hey, look at this cool thing I did. I told you I had shot 3 people in a row.
And then in Overwatch, it was only like your one play of the game that would go to like your files that you could download, right? And Marvel Rivals, like they like. It's weird. I don't really know how it works, but like if you go off like with a character, you'll have like multiple plays from that one game in your thing that you can go click the clip on, watch the video, and save it. I don't know if Overwatch did multiple from one game or if it was just like your play of the game.
So they would have to play the game, but then you could also like go back and watch the whole game and then like I guess single out like parts that you wanted, but like they would only have like one highlight and it would let you know if it's a play of the game or if it was just your highlight of the game.
See, or Marvel, I don't know how they do it or figure it out, but like I'll have one game where I'm just popping off with one character and I'll have 3 plays from that game that I can go back and watch and save, which is cool. But I don't know. Maybe someday, maybe once I stick to this game for 7 months straight, maybe Scooter will get into it.
Maybe we have a scary game we need to play. We have a scary game we need to play.
I know, we do. I'm so sorry.
He hasn't been wanting to play the scary game.
No, I have. I mean, we got other people. It's not just me.
Yeah, it's just Roman. He doesn't want to play the scary game. He's scared.
Other than that, just been addicted to Marvel Rivals. Still playing 2K, not as much as Skylar wants, but we're still playing 2K.
We're not playing 2K.
We're not playing 2K.
Well, we play some 2K. But then Roman's sad about being on 2K.
No, I have not been sad lately.
He's very sad about 2K.
No, I'm not. But
Roman, you even close to level 40 this season?
No, not even close.
It ends on Friday.
Like level 20, maybe.
See, this is my point right here. Old Roman would have never let.
First 4 seasons. It's almost a lock that I get 40.
Yeah, and now
I got 40 last season though.
See, he gave up because of Marvel Rivals. I'm so sorry, 2K. Make a better game.
Yeah,
but hey, NetEase, the people who made Marvel Rivals, have you seen their GTA anime game? Oh, bro, I'll just show it. I'll show it to you after this. But it's literally an open world, like anime style GTA role play.
Really?
Type, yeah, but it's also action. You're in an anime thing, so like you're fighting robots and shit like that.
Is it coming? Is it already out?
No, it's Open beta soon.
Cool.
Not open beta, closed beta. You have to sign up for it.
You should. I might sign up for it. I love signing up for closed betas and then barely playing them just to say I was a part of it.
Yeah, I was there.
I did that with Marvel, and I actually fucking loved it. But yeah, we will. Hope you enjoyed this little extra long episode. Again, we will try to be more consistent.
We're going to try.
After maybe a certain decision's made in a couple days, maybe we'll be able to get a consistent schedule.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks everybody for being loyal if you're still watching or listening, sorry. And we love you. Bye.
Bye.